In this interview, the anti-gay, disgraced psychologist Paul Cameron essentially admitted that even though he is incredibly anti-gay, when he was young, he had what he described as some attraction to men. Now, this is interesting because we hear allegations from so many that people who so fervently are anti-gay must have some deep-seated latent homosexuality inborn. Now, Paul Cameron went on to deny that broader interpretation, but he did admit in this interview that he had a male attraction at one point. This went totally viral, written about everywhere from Huffington Post to who knows where. Check it out.
It's true that there are a few homosexuals, probably 20-ish% or so, who do not regularly participate in anal sex. And certainly there are some, as near as we can tell, that have never done it.
Okay.
They're definitely a decided minority. If you'll look at like the Sandusky situation, if you'll look at, as I said, Pakistan, where you have a very large grouping, if you look at the history of pederasty in those countries and times and climes where you've had homosexuality generally accepted, by George, you see, not every little boy, but generally speaking, boys being molested disproportionately across the spectrum.
Okay, well, I think, we've talked about this before, and I don't want to belabor it, but we're going to have a fundamental disagreement that I don't believe that those who are interested sexually in prepubescent minors are gay or straight as their primary driver. They are mentally ill, right? Pedophilia is a mental illness, and it has nothing to do with gay or straight. With Sandusky, it well could have been a course of convenience, right? He was in locker rooms with young boys, not young women, and that's what it was about. But I want to get to something else.
I disagree.
I know you do.
I think we're looking at a mental illness here. I think we're looking at nothing less or more than a sexual taste which is very, very injurious to children.
Okay. What do you believe that it's a choice to be gay?
It's a choice to act on your desires.
Okay. Is it a choice? Then let me follow up. Then can one choose?
If I act on them, that's my choice.
Can one choose who they are attracted to?
Probably not so much as if you fixate on it. If like, let's talk about King David. He looked out and he saw a good-looking bride. And he didn't have to then think about it, invite her in, blah, 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 the whole deal.
Right.
And most men, if they will think about something sexual, they will end up trying to do something either with that person or something approximating it. So we know men, you're a man, I'm a man. If a man thinks on something in his heart, by George, it's amazing. Almost all the time, he'll get somewhere close to what he wants to do.
Okay, but so then we need to clarify. What one can or cannot control whether they feel attracted to men or women. Can one control that?
To a very large degree, yes.
So could you choose then? Could you choose to feel an attraction to men? Could you do that?
At my age, it's improbable.
Okay, at what age could you do it then?
All people, I'm talking about adolescent boys and young adults, they can choose and often do choose. Now,
so what age were you?
Who were even middle-aged, who had some success in reorienting their choices.
Completely bogus and debunked. Yeah, reparative gay therapy. We know about that. What age were you?
No, I'm not a reparative
Dr. Cameron, what age were you when you decided, I'm going to evaluate men and evaluate women, and I'm going to choose for the rest of my life, I will be attracted to women? How old were you when you did that?
Well, I didn't do that so much consciously.
Oh.
I reacted to my environment. As you're probably aware, I was seduced or raped as a child. I was about 3. And I was raped homosexually. And so had that continued, I don't know where I would have ended up. But I do know that the culture, which was directed toward heterosexuality, overcame whatever feelings I had. And I had some that I acquired as a 3-year-old. And by the time I was, say, 8 or 9 or 10, I was thoroughly interested in girls.
But Dr. Cameron, with all due respect, don't you think that if we combine these attractions that you just stated you had to men when you were very young, combined with the fact that your entire life you have focused on homosexuality, sex between men, to a degree that almost no one I've ever come across, except a handful of people. Isn't it possible that you are gay?
Well, it's impossible. No one, gay is kind of a political term.
Oh.
Am I interested in homosexual relations? Not at all. I don't, on a scale of 1 to 100, it's zip. And as a matter of fact, as I've dealt with people who have this affliction or this desire or this interest, if anything, I'm repelled by it. I'm probably about a minus